So today's video is going to be all about the high nostrils. I'm finally making a video about this. People have been asking for it nonstop and here I am finally making it. Yet, I know I said I would make it when they're healed and everything like that. I found out that actually they weren't done healing because I can actually switch these bars out for shorter ones and get more fitted jewelry. But I thought it'd be okay anyway just to make the video because they're not that much longer than what they need to be fitted. And also I can show you guys what the bars look like because they are a different gauge from the usual style and everything like that. So just explaining, let's go over simple terms as usual. 18 gauge and up can be for nostrils. Now for bends, there are plenty different bends and jewelry brands and all of that. Not only that, but the piercer can bend the jewelry however they want. So there's plenty of bends out there that maybe I don't even know about that some piercers do. It all differs. It all changes. We all know this jewelry is a crazy world of variety. Basic ones that you probably see are curved or L. So those are the basic ones. There are also nose bones, which are just the straight bars with the ball that is just, I don't know how I feel about those because taking them out probably damages the channel so much. So I don't know how I feel about those, but there are those, etc, etc. But for this one, I would only recommend, they're just like the basic ones, the L-bend curved, or for me, I actually have, since mine is 14 gauge, I have a librette. So mine is actually a bar with a flat back on it. Those are librettes, and that's what I have in my nose. Now let's go ahead and describe more of like the anatomy and where it is, placement, and everything like that. Basic nostril, people are pretty, you know, it's a common thing. A lot more people know about it. So this one, it's not too hard to understand. These are high nostrils, okay? Since my nose is actually large enough and my anatomy allows me to do this, I actually put multiple up there. Not that many people can do it, so that is something to keep in mind. So a lot of people ask me, is it a bar going straight through your nose? No, 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 no. It's like a basic nostril, just right here. Doot! And you just pierce it, boop, totally fine. Just like a basic nostril, but it's higher up. Basically, it's not pierced through any bone. My bone starts right here. It's really hard right here. Right? And I'm gonna poke behind the piercing because I don't want to fucking touch it. Right where my piercings are, it's squishy. I have this part that I can squish in. Getting it pierced, finding a piercer, being able to get it is a lot harder than a basic nostril. For high nostrils, I really want to pressure that you get an APP member just because it's not like a simple little piercing. In case you really, like if you think about it, piercing the nostril down here is a lot easier. You do have a lot more room. And the exit hole is in the inside right here. It's a lot easier. If it's up here, the exit hole's all the way up here. Question I'm gonna get, did it hurt? Yes, it hurt. Since I got 4 all done at one time, it was an experience, I will say that. Had basic nostrils done. Basic nostrils are a piece of cake. So fucking easy compared to my high nostrils. Like I said, septum for me personally hurt like a motherfucker because I got pierced at a bigger gauge. These I also got pierced at a bigger gauge, but just I could tell it was hard to, it hurt. Yes, it hurt. 1 out of 10, I would say a solid 8 on pain. A basic nostril, I would say a 4 out of 10. So with my piercer, he actually did it with a clamp and needle, the classic method. I know some piercers that do it with a NRT, which is a needle receiving tube. I would feel a lot more comfortable doing it with a needle receiving tube, but the way I experienced it was through the clamp and needle method. So just like a basic piercing, he just pierced me with the clamp, yada yada yada. He ran the needle down my nose very carefully. He didn't hit the septum at all, so that's perfectly fine. Ran it down, connected a taper that had the jewelry already on the taper, connected it into the hole of the needle, and transferred it. And then boop, came it out, took off the taper, put on the top of the jewelry. Now for needle receiving tubes, obviously they would just put the tube up there, pierce it, same method, yada yada yada. Obviously the angles, the jewelry transfer, and keeping connection would be a lot easier for obvious fucking reasons. You have a tube protecting your septum. So I probably would recommend it that way. Later on in my life, I might get these redone because I do have more plans for my nose. So I'll probably get these redone and I'll probably go to a piercer that actually uses a NRT. But I'm not saying that those are the only two methods. I'm sure there are other methods, but I really want you guys to study the piercer and everything like that because it's extremely important that you get it done the right way. Definitely make sure that they are a APP member. Make sure they have their papers, that their papers are up to date, that they are using sterile things, a sterile studio. Do your research, please. Also, it's good to ask, have you done these before? And if so, can I see the pictures? Also, it's good to figure out if they healed or not. You want to ask if they have photos of it's healed or not. And then you judge if you want to continue on with them from there on. High nostrils are not a common thing, but they are coming more common, which is nice. I love seeing high nostrils. They're oh so adorable. But really do your research because something's so high up here and you're getting around more sensitive areas and everything like that. You really want to do your research. I really want to pressure this. I also want to say that also if you're getting a smaller gauge, they might transfer the jewelry from the top down. Since mine was 14 gauge, I was allowed to use a taper and everything with the jewelry and it just threaded up through the top. But that's just me personally. Now about the healing process, I do want to say that this was probably one of the most intense healing processes I've ever had for a piercing. Obviously when you get a piercing, it swells, it's whatever. The swelling for this wasn't too crazy, but since I did get 4 in one area with the 14 gauge, high up inside my nose, it was a little more intense than the usual swelling and everything than that. I had very long bars in my nose. I forgot how big. I want to say 7/16, but sometimes I feel like it's longer or smaller than that. I'm not too sure, but 7/16 definitely was a size that I did have in my nose. So the first day, it definitely was a challenge. I couldn't really breathe too well. I had all this metal in my nose. If you know nostril piercings, you know boogers and all that dust, all that gunk gets stuck on the jewelry. So having 14 gauge for labrettes in my nose, it collected a good amount. So cleaning it was, no, it took a long time and I soaked it often. So healing experience was a shit ton of work and you sneeze a lot and there's a lot of boogers. And it's uncomfortable. Definitely, like I said, one of the most intense healing experiences I've ever had, but after going through that, I feel like every other piercing I shouldn't even complain about. Every other piercing is a piece of cake. I don't give a fuck. Getting them re-pierced is gonna be kind of annoying. I would say about 2 weeks, after 2 weeks of getting into that method of cleaning and everything like that, which was basically soaking gauze in sometimes water, warm water, or H2O, and I would just shove it up my nose, clean it out with a Q-tip, and then clean the outside, everything like that, keeping makeup away from it, you know, obvious fucking things that you do with a wound. You don't put makeup on a fucking wound. I would say a couple months later, I realized the swelling went down and the bars were just hanging out my nose, having a good old time. Get out of here, dust. Which you guys probably saw throughout the healing process. Then I went down a size, a couple months went by, went down another size, a couple months went by, got new jewelry, and went down a size, and now I'm here. I don't know how long I've had this. I want to say at least like, oh fuck, I don't even know. 6 months? I think I've had these for 6 months. I legitimately do not know. And now I can go down another size, but I don't know. So many piercing plans. Just overall on the healing experience, I did run into a couple problems. I did get some bumps on the 2 top ones, but not on the bottom ones, but on the 2 top, the like highest ones. But they went away pretty quickly. I don't get them nowadays, so all good. I have seen some people get high nostrils, so I would like check up on them, and I haven't seen anybody keep their high nostrils so far, and it makes me really sad. But I completely understand because it is something really hard to take care of. Like Merm, she just took out her high nostrils, they closed up just like that. I don't know, so I definitely will say that high nostrils are something the baby. Placement with nostrils, definitely one of my favorite. I do want to say that you can totally experiment with nostrils. You can do so many things. They don't have to be up here. Some anatomy, you can't, you know, put this much jewelry on your nose because some people have more cute petite noses. But let's say you don't have enough space on your high nostrils. You can do double down here. You can do it this way. You can do a design. Guys, there's so many things that you can do with nostrils. But thankfully with the nostrils, you have a lot more choices and you can do a lot more with it. So even if you can't get a double high nostril, you can still kind of like move it around on your nose so it kind of has a similar look. But if you can't do it that way even, just be really careful. I really just don't want anyone getting hurt, and I hope you really understand that. I know I'm gonna get the question on why I'm deciding to re-pierce it. Just one of the angles I don't really like, but not only that, I want to add more. They'll be in the same exact spot, but I need to do other things before I redo it, so that's that. The jewelry, like everything else, it's anatometal. I have a video on all my facial jewelry if you want to watch that. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, amazing week, and I hope you're having an amazing journey also. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also stream every day on YouNow and Twitch if you want to catch me there. And yes, so I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye! Meow.